which is let's talk about Doomsday. So I have to say I'm pretty excited over this, but I know the movie theaters aren't necessarily because now when you got Avengers Doomsday and you have Dune 3 competing for okay, who gets IMAX, who gets Dolby, who gets this, who gets that, because everybody's gonna be fighting for those $30 ticket theater situations. But I think so far Dune is the one that's gonna be getting the IMAX screenings and all other stuff, which I guess is fine. But the theaters is all upset because of this whole situation and talking about that one of y'all gotta move because December 18th, y'all can't have both of these movies competing at the box office, especially because they're saying this is not a Barbenheimer situation. When we watched Barbie and Oppenheimer, which I did see both of them, um, kind of like them, but they're two different films and they're going for two different audiences. When you look at Dune 3 and you look at Avengers Doomsday, I'm pretty much the demographic. I mean, I'm sure there's women that want to see that as well, but for the demographic is mostly guys that they're going to be going for with this type of thing. If you love action, if you love science fiction, if you like fantasy, if you like all of those things, that's the audience that you're going for. And so I honestly think Doomsday is going to do better because, well, isn't Doom PG-13? I can't remember what the rating on that is. Because if it's rated R, it will get hurt because PG-13 you can get more people in the theater versus a rated R movie. But so I know a lot of people in the theaters is worried about that, but I think it's healthy competition because quiet as it's kept, I can go see Doomsday on a Friday and see Doom 3 on a Saturday. Like what? I can't multitask and go to movies and see two movies in the same weekend or two movies in the same day. I might not do the two in the same day because I'm thinking both of these movies might be teetering on the 3 hour mark, and I don't want to be spending literally a work shift because that's how long both of those movies gonna be back to back. It'll be like 8 hours you sitting in the damn theater trying to watch two different movies. There was a time when me and my friends who when we used to work at AMC, we used to do that. We used to do like spend a day chilling, basically just getting a bunch of tickets, watching all the movies all day. But that was back in the day when I was much younger. I ain't got the patience to be doing that now. But anyway, let's get into the story. So while Warner Brothers and Legendary's Dune Part 3 and Disney and Marvel's Avengers Doomsday may officially have claimed the same release date for months, which would be December 18, 2026. This week's drop of the Dune movie poster publicly declaring the December 18th date seeming to solidify the standoff as actually happening. Which means that at a time when theaters are starving to fill seats, two of the year's most anticipated films, perhaps the most anticipated, I should say, are set to arrive on the exact same day. Someone's got to move, groaned a rep for one theater chain. That's a level of overwhelm that doesn't make sense, especially after the last few years of theaters struggling, and Avengers movie and Dune 3 are both sure things. Unlike when the gleefully mismatched Barbie and Oppenheimer famously faced off in July 2023 to create the Barbenheimer phenomenon, these two epic fantasy franchise sequels are have plenty of broad appeal, male skewing audience overlap, which is what I said. 2024 Dune Part 2 skewered heavily male on its opening weekend of 68%, with many ticket buyers well over the age of 25. 2019's Avengers Endgame, conversely, only saw a gender split of 60% male and 40% female, with millennials and Gen Zers making up the majority of the audience. The issue isn't just a matter of two massive films potentially selling fewer tickets overall because of the presence of the other. Big fans of both franchises will probably see both films in theaters, though some cannot spare the time or money to see two films in theaters around the same time will doubtless save one for streaming. There's also the issue of other films in the marketplace at the same time, which people need to realize this because this is going to be crazy. Ice Age 6, Robert Eggers' werewolf movie, and Jumanji 3 are coming out around the same time, too. I think Jumanji 3 comes out a week before both of those movies. So Jumanji 3 better make its coin within that weekend because the next weekend y'all gonna be fucked, basically. So and then said it will be especially bad for specialty distributors because everybody's gonna free up every screen they have for these two movies, said the exhibitor. Now, for Dune and the Avengers, however, there is another big issue. And by big, we mean big screens or premium large format screens, such as, like I stated earlier, IMAX. Now, Dune had secured IMAX screens for 3 weeks of exclusivity. Dune would generally be considered the bigger IMAX draw anyway, given director Denis Villeneuve's level of sci-fi spectacle and that the film was partially filmed using IMAX cameras. But still, observers worry Disney is leaving money on the table by not having IMAX screens available. Doomsday not getting the PLF is insane, notes the exhibitor. It's free money. The two films will share the spoils of the non-IMAX PLFs, however. Now, insiders say Disney and Marvel is unwavering in its decision to stick with the date. Despite Dune's IMAX exclusivity, while IMAX and premium large format screens are in high demand, there are plenty of regular screens. Barbie famously didn't get the IMAX treatment because of Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, yet made far more money, north of 1,400 and wait, what is it? 1,447 or is it 1 point? Apparently, I can't read. North of one, because I was like, is that a point or a comma? 1.447 billion. That's how much it made globally to Oppenheimer's tidy 975 million. IMAX accounting for more than 183 million of that. Now they said there will I think they meant to put there will be plenty of regular auditoriums left over for both films once the rest of the premium large format screens are divided up. Or I think they meant are divvied, says another exhibit, because I'm noticing a lot of misspellings up in child. This is the Hollywood Reporter, and y'all got misspellings up in here, and y'all didn't proofread. For us, it's a win-win. We'll have see, and they put we'll have two huge movies. How do y'all spell two T-O? Okay, who wrote this article? Because I'm like, me reading the Hollywood Reporter is a prestigious. Well, it's not a magazine. Is it a magazine? These days, everything is online, so it's like internet, blog, whatever. I guess we can call it a blog. How y'all up in here with all these misspellings? Y'all are spelling too wrong. You spelled okay, Chris, because this is how I get when it comes to misspellings. I started turning to the English teacher and a grammar expert. So now where did I leave off? Because apparently me in here going on a damn rant over misspellings, I lost my okay, so they basically said there will be plenty of regular auditoriums left over for both films once the rest of the premium large format screens are divvied up. For us, it's a win-win. We'll have two huge movies throughout the 2 weeks of the Christmas holiday. Now, the week before Christmas is considered a highly coveted release window, as movie going tends to be high over the holidays going into the new year. As such, it is also considered the window that can mostly easily withstand two tentpole movies going head to head. Moviegoers generally have enough free time to see more than one film. In pre-pandemic times, 6, 8, or even 10 movies in different sizes could prosper during the holidays. And here's the thing, I have a list. So I already know this is not going to bother me one way or another. I will go and see both of these movies probably that the weekend that it comes out. I'm just going to have to flip a coin and be like, okay, which movie do I want to see more than the other? So far, because I've seen the Dune trailer and I literally had an orgasm watching it because of the visuals and the spectacle and everything. Dune is at the top of my list. I have to see a Avengers Doomsday trailer. We've seen clips, we've seen little scenes or whatever the case is. That's not enough for me to want to get my butt in a seat and go see this movie the first night. So far, Dune's at the top of my list, but I need to see an official 2.5 minute trailer including Doctor Doom. Well, Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom. That's the only way I'm going to be able to. Oh, you know what? I'm starting to be edged out a little bit. But so far, Doom's got my vote. So I'll probably be seeing Doom first. The next day, or it depends on like if I've got a day off. If it comes out that weekend and I've got a day off, I'll probably go and spend the day watching both. And then or what I'll do is I'll see Doom the first day. The next day I'll watch Doomsday, and then I'm good. And then if I'm at a point where, oh my God, I fell in love with the movies, I'll go and do repeat things. I don't know why movie theaters are bitching and moaning. This is what y'all wanted. Y'all been wanting to be busy for a long time. It is usually a ghost town when it comes to me going to the movies and seeing stuff. A lot of people really aren't going to the movies like they used to because of overpriced concessions. The tickets are crazy. Even though, like as I was saying before, with AMC, I have a list. I'm paying $27 a month. I can see 4 movies a week, and I don't even have to pay a crap ton of money per ticket. It's all within that monthly bill that I pay, so I can go see as many movies as I want. I understand it might be different for those of you who aren't like me. Whereas you have a family, you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or you got kids, and you got, all of that stuff. I know all that adds up. So I could totally see where they're coming from with that. But here's the thing when it comes to people. People, one thing about people have FOMO. They don't want to miss out on a situation. If you put this out there, people will find a way to get their ass to the movie theaters to see both films. So, movie theater companies, stop bitching. It is what it is. And if you're gonna complain over the fact that you guys are gonna be busy with all these movies and stuff coming out, um, okay, we'll continue to bitch. But I don't mind what they're trying to do. Now the question remains is if they do decide to one of them decides because right now they're playing chicken. If one of them decides to move, who moves? At first I did say that Dune should move. However, if Denis has already secured 3 weeks of IMAX, I ain't moving because how do you how do you get that back? Like if you move to a couple of weeks prior, like maybe November or something, how do you secure those IMAX screenings? What if other movies that are coming out around that time, like a Jumanji or whatever the case is, has secured IMAX screenings? You're going to screw them up. So I keep what I'm keeping. Maybe maybe Avengers moves because I understand that many more people want Avengers right now. To be honest, Disney really hasn't proven like Disney's already on thin ice. A lot of fans have been disappointed with a lot of the films and stuff that's coming out. I know that this is sort of feels like we're going in a bit of nostalgia bait, kind of like they're going in the way that they've been marketing this movie is very Scream 7-esque, which is we're pandering so much to the past fans and nostalgia and all that stuff, and hopefully the script doesn't suck. But I think since Dune has secured 3 weeks of IMAX screenings for their movie, I think Avengers needs to move because y'all don't have that. And move to maybe, I don't know, October, November, whatever little slot that y'all can put in there, y'all may have to move. But if you're not gonna move, may the best movie win. We'll see which one is able to accumulate more at the box office. I kind of think that what will probably win will be um Avengers Doomsday because Avengers Doomsday is PG-13 and like they were saying in the story before that it skewers male and female will come in and watch those movies. Whereas when you look at a Dune, I think there are some women that are relatively interested in science fiction, but men more or less dominate that genre, especially when you're looking at something like Dune, which is heavily male within its cast. The only like female characters you would see that would kind of be in that warrior situation would be Zendaya. There are women that's going to be in the film, Florence Pugh, Anna Taylor Joy, all that other stuff. But when you and Rebecca Ferguson, which I already read, she only has like one scene in the whole movie. She already spoiled that. But when you're talking about female warrior in that sense, you'll probably get a multitude of female warriors in Avengers Doomsday versus what you're getting one in Doom. So, as I said before, this is going to be interesting, and may the best big tentpole movie win that weekend. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding this whole Doomsday situation? They're trying to replicate a Barbenheimer situation. I do think it's a bit weird because whereas Barbenheimer were fighting for an audience of two different audiences with the type of subject matter that they were covering, Dune and Doomsday is fighting pretty much for the same audience. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.